So I was talking with a young lady, and we were talking about media, social media, things of that nature. She works with children in helping them, get over things, I guess, like depression and things of that nature. And she's talking about the amount of things that a lot of children see, and the advancements in technology right now is so much more than when she was younger, and which is true. Technological advance did make leaps and bounds over the past couple of years, and especially now with AI, it definitely makes even more leaps and bounds. And so, right now, when I sit back and I look at it and I look at all of these situations, I think to myself, well, how is social media affecting the children? And I asked her an important question, and she's talking about, well, and she seemed to agree with me that like the parents have to hold some sort of responsibility here. I used to sell cable phone internet services door to door. And one thing that parents actually have the ability to do is limit their child's access to media and to social media. They have the ability to limit their child's access to what websites that they're on. And I just asked the question, like, how many parents are actually utilizing this when it comes to their children, when it comes to their children's devices? Like, you think you monitor everything your children monitor, but even some of the things that are intentionally made for children, they probably shouldn't be looking at. And when I sit back and I look at the things that are made for children, it makes me wonder. When I sit back and I look at the things that are in social media, it makes me wonder. And it's a question that I asked earlier, if you've seen the short, was just simply, you know, is social media truly a reflection of what reality actually is? I mean, people say things on social media under, fake and hidden accounts that they wouldn't say under any type of real account. They wouldn't say it in any real encounter. You have racist people on every side of the table saying things against different people. You have racist Spanish people, racist white people, racist black people saying all of these negative things to people on social media. Talk about white people with this, black people with that, Spanish people with that. And, you have all of these people attacking other races and they feel comfortable doing it on social media. But do they have that same comfort, or do they keep that same energy in real life? And it just makes you sit back and wonder how much of real life is actually real. And it's a possibility that none of it is. That's a strong possibility, considering the fact that, people don't have these type of conversations in real life. Unless someone gets super angry at somebody and gets pissed off and then they want to fight, then, in that anger, the truth comes out. A lot of times in drunkenness, the truth comes out. But are people more so living a fake life now? Can anyone deny it? Is it impossible to believe that the true world is social media? And if it is, that can be a scary thought. Because, and when I'm referring to social media, I'm not talking about the posts that we see. A lot of the posts that you see are fake. A lot of the situations that they have happened that people are filming, majority of that I would say is fake. In fact, I've told you before, I would feel safe in assuming that to be fake prior to assuming that to be real. Like the reals ain't real. But what I'm referring to is the comments, the responses that you get, because the comments I believe are real, and the comments I believe are what people are truly thinking. And just think, like a grown adult, it could be a child on the other line, and they could say something racist to a black person and think that it's funny, and then the adult who's on the other line of that comment, who doesn't know that it's a child that's saying these things, can comment something that can really mentally affect that child. And there's some people who don't care about that, saying, well, the kid shouldn't be doing this, the kid should be doing that. And yeah, I do believe things should be on the parents. Like, I can't honestly in my heart think that Mark Zuckerberg or uh, or Elon Musk or anyone else, Jeff Bezos, who owns any of these media and social media outlets. I can't look at these individuals as, well, I can't include Jeff Bezos in that because his is, I think he owns the Wall Street Journal, so I can't, those are just publications. But as far as the media outlets like X, the media outlets like um, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Google. When I say Google, I'm referring to YouTube, obviously. The things that people say on these networks in a lot of cases are just horrible, but they feel comfortable saying it because their identity isn't out there. Whereas if their identity was out there, they may lose a job or they just may face other scrutiny in their real life. But people are saying these things. And some people are surrounded by people with like minds of them, so they feel comfortable saying these things on social media. Personally, I believe all of these things to be dangerous. And I feel like it's important that we all, find a way to actually look at ourselves in the mirror instead of blaming other people for our faults, for one. For two, I feel like it's important to look at the way that our children are on social media and technology in general, because it's far more overwhelming than it was for any millennial, any Gen X, any boomer, even some Gen Z, to be honest. And it keeps increasing. So for the benefit of your children, like we all have to monitor what they watch. For the benefit of your children, you all have to dictate, listen, this is what you're not going to do. This is not a negotiation. You're a parent. Like, be a parent. Like, what are you talking about negotiation? Like, how stupid could you be? You're not concerned with the welfare of your children that you want to negotiate something with the child? Like, don't be an idiot. Like, actually, like, think for a second. Like, you're the adult. You got to be responsible for what your children do. Don't sit up here and, God forbid, something happens to your child, or your child does something and to themselves horribly, and you want to blame social media, or you want to blame the CEOs of social media because their pockets is deep. No, media is only a reflection of the real world that is around us. And it may be unfortunate, but it may be fortunate in certain cases because we can actually see what the real world is. And so these comment sections that we get into, please get into the comment section and, let me know how you feel. Good, bad, or indifferent. You can't hurt my feelings. I'm Gen X. But, like, monitor what your children watch. Be the one in control of what goes on in your household. Do not allow society to tell you that your children are for them to raise. You raise your children. Do not allow the schools to raise your children. You raise your children. Because if you allow the schools to raise your children, if you allow society to raise your children and do nothing to raise your children, then they will surely be doomed. But that's all I wanted to talk to you guys about today. If you have any other questions, concerns, funny stories, anything you'd like to add, feel free to put it in the comments. If you like it, make sure you hit the like button. If you dislike, make sure you write dislike in the comments. And you can even timestamp it the way you dislike it. And everybody have a good morning, good afternoon, and a good evening.